Youth in Uganda are the youngest population in the world, with 77% of its population being under 25 years of age. Career guidance, especially to these young people, is meant to give them a roadmap to their dreams and careers by reflecting on how well they can maximize their potentials, skills, and abilities.
The reason why I quit my job was because I wasn't seeing anything African made in the countries where I was posted, yet most of the raw materials in all cosmetics were gotten off of our continent. So I decided to come back and start something in which we were prime and we had comparative advantage over the rest. And shea butter was the resource that I found relevant because Uganda is one of the 15 countries worldwide where it is found, and moreover, the type of the butter found in our country is the best pharmaceutically and cosmetically.
What we need to do is polish it so the whole world would see the pearl, the true pearl that the Uganda really is. And also I would really want to encourage and appreciate First Lady, Mama Janet, and the government here, your job, embracing the career guidance, entrepreneurship. Also, one of the things that really got the eyes of my friends, entrepreneurs, investors about this country is recognized as the safest country in Africa. This country is recognized as the best English-speaking country in Africa. And that's a huge thing.
Through faithful attendance of the annual conference, she was able to attain godly counsel, parental nurturing, and healthy peer influence. Indeed, it is some of these fundamental principles that enabled that young lady, so many years later in life, to not only go through the tumultuous years of university life, but also to be a responsible wife, mother, and leader that she is today. The young lady I just told you about, ladies and gentlemen, is myself.
Mama, our youth today want to start big. When I tell them I sold things in the car, they said you were unlucky, you didn't have options. But they do not want to carry. I keep telling them of these men who sell pineapples on wheelbarrows. They've educated their children. Each of them rent that wheelbarrow at 5,000 shillings a day. So his only capital is 5,000 shillings. If you are unemployed, why don't you rent 10 wheelbarrows and sell pineapples on the street? Because a pineapple in the market is 1,000. When we park our cars to buy it, we buy it at 3,000. So you're making profit of 2,000.
What is purpose? The purpose is the reason for our existence, or why God created us. It's a clear assignment. It's something that we are here to do, to accomplish in our lifetime. It is usually profoundly simple and clear, because truth is simple. What it is not necessarily a skill set. It is not necessarily a trade or a profession or an occupation. It is not necessarily an area that you ever planned or were even interested to be involved in. I believe one of the speakers said it, that your purpose finds you. Apostle Paul, by trade, was a tanner, but his purpose was to be an apostle to the Gentiles. David was a shepherd, but his purpose was to be the king of Israel. William Wilberforce was a member of parliament, but his purpose was to lead the fight of the abolition of slavery in England.
The whole purpose of today's meeting was to galvanize all of you using the function of the incredible youth today. We are here primarily to listen. Yes, to listen to their cause, and then give us all an opportunity to listen to each other. We all need to hear that love that you have heard from everyone who spoke here. Their concern and the burden they all carry for their generation and those younger now in Uganda. It was deliberate the way I asked people to speak about the youth. Thank you for what you all shared this afternoon. But it showed such potential that is among you, and yet you all know what we face today among the young people in Uganda. That's what I wanted to gather from you, and also inspire you to know that now all of us together have a duty to do something about the many young people you see. I'm sure you do see them. And so I wanted you to be here today that we may all share that burden. Because I have listened to some of you elsewhere, not here necessarily, and I know that many of you who are here and who had that history of the Youth Forum also have the burden to want to give something back to the young people now in the country, who need that guidance, who need that direction, a sense of direction. So when I tell you to join me to relaunch the Youth Forum, because I told Dr. Magara, who now has been heading the Youth Forum, I told him that we need to relaunch the Youth Forum. When I invite you again, you will understand where I'm coming from. Because when we first launched the Youth Forum in the 90s, 1992, we were looking for a vehicle to use to address many difficult challenges we were facing as a country at that time. And you heard from the story of Shibari Chikairi, the challenges we were facing at that time. HIV and AIDS, the families that had been separated by war, leaving the children unattended to, children who had grown up abroad and had known foreign cultures and came home and didn't know how to handle the cultures here, the families that were returning to Uganda and were unemployed. But if you examine our society today, you'll find some similarities with those challenges of the 90s, considering the COVID-19 and what havoc it has created in our society, HIV and AIDS, which is still there, unemployment of the so many young people who are unemployed and who have a problem really that Rachel Dumba talked about, how they despise, the jobs that may be available. They want the jobs on top. They don't know how to reach there, and so they are willing to do anything, and that means anything. That's what has really brought this corruption that is unimaginable, because they want to succeed yesterday. Young people want to get married to those who have already made it, who are driving more than one car. And so you will hear from me again. When you do, please know why I'm calling you. Because I need foot soldiers, and you are.